Okay. So our first card, the one on the bottom of the deck here, is the Ace of Bats. And Bats is the suit of swords in the deck that we're working with today. Let me show you that real briefly because it's so cute. The Halloween Tarot. I had to, I couldn't resist. I know by the time a lot of you view this, Halloween may be past, but I can't resist. I love this. Okay. So Ace of Bats is about truth coming in, clarity, right? The beginning of some sort of idea or concept for some of you. You may be thinking about a new idea that you may be able to put into practice. But a lot of times it really is about truth. And you'll notice that he's opening his wing, this bat. I don't know why I'm saying he. But this androgynous bat here is opening his or her wing, about to take flight of ideas, right? Some new concept. But this hand reaching out of the clouds is divine. It's source. Again, truth. Something that is pointing the way for you. Because of this clarity, you now know which direction to go in. So something really positive, right? New truth, new knowledge. All right. Let's see how this manifests throughout the rest of your reading. We may circle back to our friend the bat. We have here the Ten of Pumpkins. This has been a goal that you have had in the recent past or in the present tense. Ten of Pumpkins is about successful material. So this can be, it is the earth sign, right? It's our coins, pentacles suit. This has to do with success in business life or in family life, great health, wellness, well-being, wealth, prosperity. It's all of these things that we work so hard for. We want to know that we don't have to struggle to pay our rent or our mortgage payment, or, you know, that we can handle it if we have to replace a part on our car, whatever that is. So this has kind of been the ambition, right? This has been the ambition. Now, what we also see here is part of what was going on for you was it you knew you needed to leave a situation that had become toxic for you. You had to go from that. There was emotional pain and loss, and you did feel like you were leaving something behind in this decision to move on. Not always easy, right? And to make these kinds of changes. You'll notice that this person's traveling on alone. The friends here are concerned. Again, it does have to do with the sense of you leaving something that you cared about. Something emotional for you was left behind. But at the same time, you sallied forth anyway because you knew what needed to happen. And you had lots of options along the way. Right? The Seven of Ghosts is about lots of options. You'll see that there's something represented here. Here we've got a house. Here we've got a snake, which represents change or healing. We've got what looks like a diamond or some sort of a stone that has to do with material abundance and wealth. Dragon is about passion, right? It's a fire element. And we don't know what these ones are. So they could be things we haven't even thought up yet, or options we may not know that we have yet. You know how it's like sometimes when we feel like we're choosing between A or B, and then all of a sudden we're blindsided because we notice that there's a C out there. So this has to do with, we began looking around. We found that we had a lot of options. And this idea of moving away from something, even if not having a solid decision in mind yet, you simply knew that you had to leave. You had to go. Now, I can tie this back with our Ace of Bats. There's some sort of truth or clarity coming in. And that truth, that clarity, that to me indicates that there's some sort of a vision, something that you're moving towards. It may not have been obvious in your recent past tense exactly what you were doing. It was more about leaving a bad situation, even if you weren't really sure yet where you were going. But some of this too embodies a sense of fool energy. Like, we don't necessarily know where we're going, but we're taking that blind leap of faith and just kind of trusting that the universe has our back. And it always does. And I notice, at least with my personal life, that the more I trust in the universe to help provide for me, the lower my anxiety is. It's like I don't have room for both. How can I have anxiety if I really have trust? Right? Anxiety sometimes can be about trying to take control of things that I cannot control. And that would put anybody into a panic attack or some kind of tailspin energy. Now, as with anything, I do encourage people, if you do struggle with anxiety issues or depression or any kind of mental health, that you for sure seek professional help with that. I don't just say that because I'm a professional counselor, but I really think that there's a lot of work that every person can do in trying to figure out where the blockages are and how do we remove them from our life. How do we learn from our past experiences? How do we challenge our current mindset and be able to promote emotional healing by challenging our mindset and learning new coping skills? Life is hard. It's really, really hard to be a human. And I don't say that to be flip. I'm dead serious. It is very, very hard to be a human. This Six of Bats can indicate that there's a delay in moving on, even though we saw from our Eight of Ghosts that this forward movement is desired and desirable. You'll see this person's taking a journey as well. And in fact, they look very close, like, very similar. The colors of their coats are the same, but they still kind of have that slumped head, shoulders, kind of a posture. One's walking, one is on water. Water's emotions, but the suit of bats is air, swords, energy. So it's about an intellectual move on. Now this, in the reverse, can be a delay in that movement. This is telling me that you're doing it. This tells me that you are concerned or fearing some sort of a delay in your ability to move on from whatever the situation was that you felt that you needed to leave behind. This Two of Bats, and I honestly, I wasn't even consciously thinking of this card when I talked about anxiety. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Eight of Bats. Two of Bats is about choice, but this in the reverse is about making that decision. You've made your choice between the two different ideas. So just like we saw with the Ace of Bats is about information coming in. The Two of Bats is the next step. Okay, so we have some information. What are we going to do with it? What will our choice be? In the reverse, this is about making the decision, but also taking off the blindfold that this person has and being able to make that choice. Yes, we may be experiencing some fear or some concern about a delay in our forward movement because anytime we do make a choice, there are always random variables and other people involved, and every one of us has free choice. And sometimes we just don't choose the same things. So there can be a little bit of a fear factor in that. But again, how much anxiety or stress you experience in that can be very much so a personal choice. Now, this King of Imps is fire sign. So this could be yourself, the Leo, could be Aries or Sagittarius. In the reverse, this could be, for some of you in relationship, this could be a player energy. But I think in some, it may be that you're struggling to make your passion material. Like you're struggling to manifest your passion. Like you have this information coming in, this knowledge, truth, wisdom. You know you're leaving a situation, but you have yet to master where that's going. I'm getting a sense that a lot of you Leos, including myself, are kind of in some sort of a transition right now. I know I am, right? I've left something behind, but yet my new journey hasn't quite taken off just yet. And that I'm tapping into my own energy here, but there may be a lot of you that are kind of in that state of flux where you're not really sure yet. The way has not really been cleared or open for you, and you may be feeling off your game a little bit. King does not have to be a literal masculine person or manly person, but or male. It's about the energy, right? The energy. And this is the suit of fire, the imps. Now, before you, what you're hoping for is material success, right? Material success, well-being, wealth, opulence, a garden that's bearing great fruit. There can be, however, and the basis of the matter, there could be a delay in the beginning or getting off the ground. You may have to set your finances straight. There may be some financial hardship in getting a move on. But it's a delay in an energy, not a no way to the energy, right? The Ace of Pumpkins in the upright is divine spirit is offering you a coin. It's offering you health. Some of you may be having some kind of health issues. Then again, it could be that this is where you want to be. You want that successful business, or you want success in your job life, your work, career, family, home. And yet there's some kind of a delay to that energy. Doesn't mean it's not coming. But part of this is going to be about being patient and trusting that it will in fact happen for you. We do see here as well, this Page of Ghosts. And this is kind of a love letter at the beginning of something that you love. So even though there's a delay in material, for sure, you're beginning something that you love anyway. So if you do something that you love, the money will follow. Whatever your gifts are, follow your gifts and your talents. Now, with everybody, at least in our modern day and age, we don't tend to be able to just do 100% of what we want. I love being a therapist, but part of the problem is it's never, ever easy, and there's a ton of paperwork. I don't like paperwork. I like people work. So there's kind of a compromise. Like it's forced me to be a little bit more coins. And by that, I mean pumpkins, earth suit. It's made me focus a little bit more on being grounded and being able to do the mouse type energy, which is about taking care of the tiny little details of things that are so essential for everything, right? Whatever your business is or your practice is, whatever your job or skill set, we have to get the material stuff done at the end of the day. We have to send out our vouchers. Right. We have to balance our books. We've got to make the payment for our cell phone service. We've got to write out the rent check, whatever that is for you. Right. But this here is very much about being able to begin to manifest something that you love in your day-to-day life. You'll notice that the cup here with the fish in it is full. Now, ghosts is the suit of water. That's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So it could be like a younger person in your life, but most likely it's somebody making bringing a message of love, compassion, concern, something very positive in that, or as it feels like for some of you, it has to do with some kind of a transition. Now, I haven't really gone into a romance piece here, but there certainly is an interpretation for that. That would be, that you've been in some kind of, that you're hoping for a happy family life and so on. And you've had some options and you're leaving a situation that hasn't been very positive for you. Maybe there's been some other kinds of going on. You've made a decision and you're coming out of that. Maybe you were involved with somebody who was a player. Maybe you yourself, for some reason, just couldn't get serious about that person that you were with. What you want is to be independent, have your freedom, have your happy, successful material life, your home. And yet, on the same note, you've been hoping for some kind of love to come in for you, and that can be coming in, but it may take a bit to materialize. One of the things that happens when we're trying to manifest a physical relationship with somebody, like a partnership, is that it's not enough for us to get our ducks in a row. There's a period of time where we have to wait as the other person has to leave their karmic partnership in order to be available to us in our, in our soulmate, twin flame type of relationship, whatever that is, our life partnership. So keep your peace internally as you wait for that experience to happen. There will be new information coming in. There will be some new kind of love offering if this is romantic for you. In the sense of business, again, this is going to be, you're going to receive some kind of truth, some kind of knowledge or clarity about a situation that's going to help you as you develop whatever it is that you feel passionate about, whatever you love, whatever makes your heart chakra swell and glow. This is coming for you. Now, I did shuffle our Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Let me show you the box. I did shuffle these before just to kind of warm them up and tap in with Leo energy. And during that process, I had a jumper. So I wanted to go ahead and take it, even though I wasn't sure, because the Halloween cards, I hadn't even completed shuffling those yet. But let me pull that out for you. Infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. And let me just remind you here about this Ace of Pumpkins card. I mean, it may be in the reverse for you in this reading, but it is coming. It's just a minor temporary delay. That's the same with that Six of Bats in reverse. Your movement is happening. Your forward motion is happening. It simply is slowly but surely. Have the patience. Don't make yourself crazy while you're waiting by talking to yourself in some kind of way that just makes you feel more and more upset. Seek your solid people that kind of encourage you, whatever's going on, and allow yourself to enjoy this part of your process. Life is what happens while we wait for life to happen. So be sure that you're enjoying your now moment to the best that you can. Okay, so let's see what the wisdom of the card indicates for us. Excuse me. Everything is blossoming and bearing fruit now. Open yourself to receive. The prosperity you seek is being activated. A stream of abundance in all areas of life is ready to flow into your life. The Creator desires that you prosper. Take action in the direction of your dreams. This is not the time to passively wait for prosperity to fall into your lap. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know life goes in cycles. There are times when fields lay fallow, and there are also times of harvest. Right now, you are moving toward a harvest time to receive an outpouring of money, energy, time, or love. However, you must first know that you deserve it. And you do. There are times on the journey when life is fallow, but in the times of harvest, the Sacred Traveler shares the bounty and even volunteers to help others bring in their crops. This is the time to give deeply and fully of who you are and what you have. For the more you truly give, the more you receive. It's a universal law. As you focus on gratitude for what you already have, your abundance will grow leaps and bounds. Again, this speaks to trust, doesn't it? Just trusting that there's goings on behind the scene that you're not creating. You're waiting to see the evidence of that. Even as, when we plant something, we plant something in the soil. There's a lot that goes on when the seed cracks open and it begins to germinate and sprout. There's a lot happening there before we actually see the green tips start to come out of the earth. Trust in this process. It's all happening in divine timing. And as such, it will be even better than you ever anticipated. It will be better than you ever thought possible for your life to be. But tap into that place of trust and peaceful waiting.